Oh, jeez. Jeez. He full on just punched her in the gut. You could totally also see upper dress as he carried her away. Welcome to another Let's Play 1001 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and as always, I am busy playing my way through a book called 1001 Games You Must Play Before You Die. Today we are looking at Double Dragon. And as you can tell from the intro, this game, it doesn't pull any punches, literally. It starts off with a girl getting punched in the gut and then carried away in a very unflattering position. Oh man, I'm not doing good here. So this is another classic game that probably many people actually played on the NES. I didn't really know too many people who played this in the arcade, but I decided to go with the arcade version because that's the one the book recommends, and because, I don't know, I've never played it before. I have played the Nintendo version. And actually, at some point, I'll probably play one of the Nintendo versions for this series, or for my other series off the books. And there's another game called River City Ransom, which I don't think is in the book, but was also made by the same people who made Double Dragon here. And River City Ransom's a classic game, so I'll definitely be playing that somehow at some point. Oh, I think, am I running out of time here? One of the unique things about this game is you could actually pick up weapons from people who you had beaten and beat them with their own weapons, which is pretty awesome. I'm not very good at it, it seems, but you can do it. So you can whip that woman. This is an interesting game. Oh, this is a Bobo. He was one of the most... Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Okay, in fighting games, do not stand in the middle of a bunch of dudes. That is how you die. I gave up on life. Jeez. Well, it's a good thing. Another good reason to play this in the arcade version is unlimited continues, because I can just sort of insert quarters infinitely. Because, hey, we live in the future, and these machines now bow to us. There was a time when you had to pay 25 cents every time you wanted to play another life. That was the original, like, microtransactions. You know, everyone complains now when you have to pay, like, for extra lives in Candy Crush or whatever. But people forget that, you know, arcades really were built on microtransactions. We just didn't call them that back in the day. So... yeah, I wonder what happens when the time runs out. Can I still use a continue? This is a pretty rough city. As you can see, literally a guy punched his way through a brick wall to get to me. There was a door. It's not like that building had no door. And there's a cute little kitty cat watching me get stabbed with a knife. I don't care how tough you are. Yeah, that's what would happen if you got hit by a knife. Okay, let's keep going here. Let's do it! Give me your knife. Okay, we stab someone. Oh! Now that was a one-hit kill for him. Okay, the music has changed. In movies and games, when music becomes more intense, that's when you know bad guys are around. Oh man. Jeez! Taking a lot of punches to the face. Does this do something? Apparently. Help me, cat! Help me! Oh, man. I would like to know why they stole the girl in the first place. What value did she have for them? And it's not like it was a couple of guys. It was, I think, literally the whole city stole the girl. Because, look, everyone is now fighting me. I haven't encountered a single person on the street who's sympathetic to my cause, who actually wants to help me save this girl. Which is pretty crazy. Could you imagine if someone actually got kidnapped and literally everyone in the whole city was for it? I mean, I guess like if Justin Bieber got kidnapped or something, people wouldn't go out of their way to turn his kidnappers over. Which is too bad. You know, good old JB, he's a Canadian like me. I really shouldn't badmouth him, but I don't think anyone really likes Justin Bieber. Anyway, let's move on to more positive notes. Like whipping a barrel at a muscly man in an alley. I think this guy was waiting for me. And how awkward would that be? Him just standing around with his henchmen. They're all just kind of making awkward chit-chat waiting for me. Saying, are you really going to keep your shirt off for the whole fight? Yes, it's breezy today. I don't want to work up a big sweat. Oh, man. I think I'm helping him with those, I'm just walking into those suplexes or whatever he's doing to me. Boom! This is what it was like being a rich kid in arcades. You really didn't have to... There were no consequences. And I mean, I suppose that's like being rich in general. Oh, jeez. Because like when you die, look. Guess what? I'm coming back from the grave. Suckers. Let's do some kicks. Oh, that's what you want. Oh, man. A knee to the face. Have you ever been... What's the worst fight you've ever been in? Like the worst real-life fight? I remember one time when I was a kid... Oh, he just literally just falls like a ragdoll off that. He didn't even try to land it. I want to do that again, actually. I remember as a kid, I got into a playground fight once. I don't even remember who started it. It was really stupid. I didn't like violence as a kid, so I didn't want to fight. But I just remember the whole time... Oops. Yep. It looks like he's going to land it, and then he just falls. Anyway, the whole time I was fighting, I didn't know what to do. I ended up I put my hand on the guy's shoulders, and I jumped up, and I was like kneeing him in the stomach. And that was my move. That's the move of someone who doesn't know how to fight. It wasn't a punch, it wasn't a kick. I put my hands on his shoulder, and like jumped up and like kept kneeing him in the stomach, and I kept doing that over and over again. And that was me fighting as a kid. Creative. It's a creative way to fight. We both had to go to the principal's office after that. I never get over that. Oh man. And deservedly so. I mean, you know, kids shouldn't be fighting, but I mean, this guy, he'd be all for it. Okay, if you walk into this, buddy, it's your own fault. Told ya. Oh man, I don't think anyone would fall for that in real life. If you just stood there waving a baseball bat, I think whoever you're waving it at would figure out that he should not walk forward. But who knows? You can really see the influences of River City Ransom here with the boxes and even that barrel I was throwing around. Because in River City Ransom, you can throw like boxes and crates and stuff at people. Oh man, slowing down. Oh, slow-mo, too much on the screen happening. Who's this woman? How does she get mixed up in all this? Because, like, you know, you think there'd be some solidarity. Maybe, maybe this girl who's kidnapped, she's not a good person. Like, maybe there's a really good reason why literally everyone wants to see her go down. Yeah! Oh man. Oh man, that guy just stood there and took it. He just went off the cliff. Okay, so here's one thing I was... Oh, what is that noise? Jeez. Is this a boss? I guess so. Here, take... Oh, jeez. Okay, maybe I can get him to fall off the elevator here. Or the... Ooh, she wants me dead. She's like, get down here, you little bastard. Uh-oh. I'm still kind of... The controls... It's funny, there's only 3 buttons. I still kind of forget what each button does. Yes, that's what I wanted. Ah, stop whipping me! Damn. They kind of tease you when you have no health, as if you're gonna get up and then you fall back down. Ah, damn it. I have to get rid of her. She's really cramping my style here. Oh. Okay, so here's one question I had. Would you guys, for these games that for these games where there's like an arcade game and a classic like Nintendo version and stuff, which one do you want to see? I went out on a limb and I chose the that was easy. I went out on a limb and I chose the arcade version of this. But would it have been more fun to see the NES version? And I mean, I can always go back and play the NES version at some later point, so it's not off the table. But, for example, in my last video, I did Outrun, and there I decided to try both the arcade and the Sega Master System version. There's also a DOS version, which is the version I actually remember playing. And so I kind of, after I made that video, thought maybe I should have done the DOS version. I don't know. These games that are on multiple systems, it's not really clear to me what system I should be playing it on. So if you have a preference, let me know. Like, the interesting thing about these arcade games is like this, I think this was a 1986 game, but the graphics and stuff and the gameplay, it really does feel a little more advanced because arcades were just better than consoles and, there we go, consoles and computers of the day. So by playing arcade games, I kind of am getting more advanced versions of some of these games, but at the same time, the point of this series is to really experience retro games. So maybe I'm doing a disservice by skipping some Nintendo games and playing the arcade version. So I don't know, there's no real clear answer here, but all I'm saying is, let me know if you have a preference. If, you know, what's your favorite version of these games? Do you really like the arcade versions because they were a little more advanced? Or, you know, were the home console versions really the ones that I should be playing and that you remember the best? Or do you just want me to mix it up? Oh, I thought it was dead there. I put a coin in for no reason. Could have made a phone call with that. So yeah, let me know. Let me know what you guys think of that. It's funny because like that problem of like what platform do you play a game on? It kind of still exists today. I guess they've kind of done a lot to standardize games, so like it doesn't matter if you play it on an Xbox or PlayStation or computer, you get about the same game. But you know, now and then it's not clear cut. I mean, people who play things on PC will always tell me that PC is the way to play, and you know, I don't have anything to say to that really because they're right. I mean, PC usually has better graphics and you know, is often a superior version because it doesn't have hardware limitations like a console. But then at the same time, you know, like, I'm the type of guy who likes to come home and just play a game on my couch, you know, like put a controller in my hand, that's what I want to play. I don't always want to be hunched over my computer with a mouse and keyboard, so yeah, I don't know. PCs definitely have their place in gaming, but sometimes I would rather play games on a console. And certain types of games, I feel like I've gotten more comfortable playing on consoles. Like the Arkham Asylum or the Arkham City games. I really enjoy playing those on a console. I mean, I haven't really ever tried them on PC. I'm sure their controls are fine, but I just haven't gotten so familiar with how to play it with the controller. I just don't see it being a smooth transition for me, so I almost don't want to play that one on PC. Shooters, first-person shooters, are another interesting... That's actually a really interesting genre because, you know, I started playing Doom, and then eventually like Quake and Half-Life and all those games on PC, and I got really used to mouse aiming and you know, being really good at shooters there. But then eventually I kind of got into Halo and, you know, other games like that. And then I started to get really comfortable with the controller controls for shooting. And now I don't know which I prefer. I think mouse aiming is definitely more precise than controller aiming. But the controller just kind of seems a little easier. So yeah, I don't know. There's even today, there's no clear-cut winner in terms of what console you should be playing something on. Bobo. Okay, so they made a game on Kickstarter called, like, The Adventures of a Bobo, I think. It's funny, because, like, in retrospect, he is one of the most popular characters out of Double Dragon, and he's not even one of the Double Dragons. So that's kind of funny. Sucker. In the NES version of this, though, so I'm playing Jimmy. I think his brother is Billy. And so you can play 2 players, which is pretty cool. I think that was another first for this arcade machine. But in the NES version, I know it says Jimmy and Bimmy Lee. They didn't even spell check the game when they made it on NES. And it's like I think the Angry Video Game Nerd says it best when he says it's a typo in an NES game, let alone it's like in a Double Dragon, man. Like, Double Dragons were considered like really good games. So it's kind of funny that there's a blatant typo in there. Like, Bimmy isn't even a word. What the hell's Bimmy? Oh, jeez. I want to knock this guy in the water. Yes! Yeah! Oh, come on! Oh. Oh man, if I was actually paying for this, I'd be so mad right now. Okay, now he goes in the water. Jerk. Alright. Oh, jeez. No. Go away. Yeah, I think as I said before, when there's guys on either side of you in a fighting game, you know you're in trouble. You want them all on one side. Get away! One thing that's interesting is there's no health pickups that I've noticed yet. You know, in Final Fight, my guy was like eating hams off the ground. He was eating, I think there was curries and pizza. Ooh, the kicks can block knives. That's convenient. But I guess, you know, beating guys to a bloody pulp doesn't really work up an appetite for Jimmy. Just another day at the office for him. I hate that they make you get up a little, give you that false hope. Oh. What the? Am I dead? Are you kidding me? Wow, that's so cheap. There's like a little hole there. Why is that even there? And that's sad that he fell down a hole. I wonder, did he just fall to his death, or is he stuck in the well now? And I'm his clone. I'm Jimmy 2. Oh, jeez. Actually more like Jimmy 10 or something, considering how many continues I've gone through. That's an interesting thought. What if this game takes place in an apocalyptic future where humans can't reproduce anymore naturally, so everyone's just clones? That's why I keep encountering the same guy over and over again. And I'm also a clone. There's an infinite number of Jimmys. Oh god, slow-mo. When I was playing Alex the Kid, I mentioned how they actually wrote a story for Alex the Kid that explained why he could punch through blocks. It was like he spent 7 years practicing. If they go to all that trouble to explain the gameplay mechanic that you can punch through rocks, why has no game ever bothered to explain why all the bad guys look the same? Like, I've fought in so many Abobos, and look, now there's 2 on the screen at the same time. Don't tell me that I keep beating up the same Abobo and then he keeps coming back. When there's 2 on the screen at the same time, that means they're freaking clones, man. So, like, why has no game gone out of their way to explain, you know, that you're fighting in some weird future world where all humans are sterile and cloning is the only way to preserve us? I mean, that would explain some of the oddities of this game. Like, another thing is, I was fighting in a city. How did I end up in the mountains so fast? Where am I? What city am I in? Whoa! Oh, man. I'm just having to, like, tank these hits because there's not much I can do in terms of how to fight these guys. They just wail on you. Oh, man! Good thing every time I come back I'm a clone, because I think I get all my bones broke. Like a baseball bat, a couple of huge hits to the face from one of these Abobo guys. Oh, freak. Kind of jumps funny, too. Also, what is he wearing? He's kind of got gauntlets on and steel boots. Actually, you know what? If I was going out to fight an entire town, I totally would wear steel-toed boots. That's how you do it. Invade the enemy's base. Yes, sir. Hey, buddy. He can't get down to me, so... I don't know why I don't just throw rocks at him till he's dead. Instead, I'll just fall like a ragdoll off the side of the cliff. And then I'll fight him. I do not know how you're supposed to land those. I guess next time maybe I'll try throwing a punch or something in the air. Maybe that will stabilize me. Okay, whatever move he was doing, he was like trying to drop kick me, and we're both ending up on the ground. If you have to do a move against someone, and not only does he go down, but you also go down, you might want to reevaluate that move. Just saying. Oh. Like when I do a move, you go down and I stay up. Oh, not that time though. Oh, a knee to the face. Fake get up. I wonder if I could play as the brother. I don't want to chance it though, in case I can't. Ooh. That stupid move again, man. Again, evaluate your moves. Oh, hey. Well, there's no one to hurt me. So that was kind of special. We had a moment there. It was kind of a backwards hug. I wish I was better at this game. Maybe this is really frustrating to watch. You're like, do something other than spam punches! Although I think Virtual Fighter established that that's my secret move. Nobody sees the unrelenting spam of punches ever coming. That's the trick, Jimmy. Oh, see, it worked for him. That's how they get me. So that's how I'm gonna get them. Oh. Somehow he can make it through my punches. I'm not fast enough. Where are you? Get out. Get over that cliff. You too. I don't know how I threw them, but that was planned. Believe it. How ripped my guy is. Just carrying, like, that boulder. That's insane. That'd be an insane amount of weight to lift. Ugh. A green guy! Okay, we're definitely in an apocalyptic future. He also has a move that knocks him out as well. I don't know how to avoid that stupid move. I'm going for the rock. No, I'm not. Okay, quick. 3 guys are fighting you. 1 guy is a giant green mutant. What do you do? What do you do? You grab a boulder and then you dive off a cliff and take one for the team. This boulder is highly effective. Ugh. As long as you can get it. Oof. He knocked it out of my hands into his buddy. Ah. Get away from me. He knows what I want to do, and he's not going to let me do it. I wonder if this game must be fundamentally different with 2 players. Although maybe they give you more enemies, so it evens out. I killed the green guy. And the other guy ran away! You know what? That's pretty cool. That's realistic. Okay. City to forest to mountain to now I'm in like some kind of ancient temple. Seriously, where am I? What time period is this? Do I have a soul? Am I just a dirty clone? Oh. I do remember these from the NES version. It's funny, I think I've seen the NES version played more than I have actually played it myself. Oh, jeez. I feel like I might be on the last level. Which is funny because... I don't know, it just seems so short. Guess we've been playing for like 25 minutes. Oh no! No hugs. Do not hug me. There is a video on YouTube called Do Not Hug This Man. Check it out. That's all I'll say about it. But it explains why you don't hug somebody in a fight. So why are the statues alive? Why is anything happening? I don't know. There's a Double Dragon movie. Oh god, I don't even know how to get by that stuff. There was a really bad Double Dragon movie. It had Alyssa Milano. Oh god. Alyssa Milano. She was in Who's the Boss? If you've seen Guardians of the Galaxy, Chris Pratt's ship is named the Milano because his character comes from Earth from the 80s and he liked Alyssa Milano. She's kind of a babe when she was younger, like all the guys liked her. Oh no, leave me alone, Abobos. These are like the black Abobos. In fact, they're not even Abobo, they're just dudes with like, I mean, they have their own identity. Why am I calling them Bobos? They're still clones, so they have half identities. Anyway, there was a Double Dragon movie. It had Alyssa Milano. I never saw it. I looked it up. It has 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. Video game movies just are terrible. Do you guys remember the Super Mario movie? If you have not seen the Super Mario Brothers movie with, is it Bob Hoskins? And, oh, who do they have playing Bowser? It's like some really intense actor. Anyway, whoever wrote the Super Mario Brothers movie, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. Honestly, it is the weirdest thing ever. Apparently the production was really, really troubled, and like half the staff was drunk for most days, including the primary actors. So Mario and Luigi were just hammered. And it is the weirdest movie ever. And like, I don't know why the writer thought it was a good idea, the producer, the director, or anyone. In fact, how could you even do a Mario movie justice? You know what, actually, you could have fun with it if you did like a Disney-styled, like, you know, Aladdin movie or something. The point is, you just have to like make it pure fantasy. You don't want to make it all realistic. So in the Mario movie, they had Yoshi be like a real dinosaur, and Bowser was a human, and there's all this stuff about parallel dimensions, and just stuff that doesn't... Who cares? Just make like a fun cartoon. So yeah, I don't know. So the Mario movie, basically the reason I brought it up is because Double Dragon has like 8%. I'm sure that's very similar to what Mario has. And like, why are there no good video game movies? Like, nobody has really cracked that code. And honestly, like, most games probably don't lend themselves to good movies. Like, what would you make a movie about for Double Dragon? You have a girl getting punched in the gut at the beginning of the story, and then just a guy wail, oh, that's the girl! Wow. I'm gonna beat Double Dragon. Guys, I don't often beat games. I'm excited. As I say that, I'm just getting my butt handed to me by these guys. Oh man, I can't even stand. The thing about arcade games is they often are a lot less fair than the console versions because they wanted you to die a lot, because they got paid per death. In the console, they let you live a little longer so that you didn't hate the game. Anyway, what would you make a movie about Double Dragon about? I mean, there's really no material to work with. Same with Mario, honestly. I mean, the best idea I heard for a movie game was, okay, well, there was Halo, which they never made, but Halo has enough story that you could make a game. Max Payne. You know, when they first announced that they were going to make a Max Payne game, you got some story there to work with. You could do it. The movie didn't end up being very good, but there was something going on. Prince of Persia, I don't know. I don't know about that one. A lot of the other movies they picked, they didn't really have enough story. But yeah, like Halo. Okay, Halo. That is considered a very epic story kind of game. And it was the one they didn't make. It was the one video game movie that maybe it actually wouldn't have been bad. But they never made it. So I don't know what it is with video games, but whoever is making video games into movies, they're not picking the right games. They're picking games that have no story, and then they're not doing it right. Like, Mario has no story, but you probably could do it right if you, again, did like a Disney-styled animation movie. So I guess it's just one of those boundaries we'll never really see crossed properly. Meanwhile, I am wondering who kidnapped this girl. Because it's not often that girls get punched in the gut, taken away, and then you come to some ancient Buddhist temple where she's literally tied up and dangling. I don't know. Like, normally when people get kidnapped, I don't know where they're held, but I mean, I guess real life is too gruesome. You don't want people in like trunks and stuff. Oh, this stupid... I can't believe you can fall off the bottom of the screen so easily. Alright. These guys, one thing they're lacking is like fun sound effects when I knock them down. After playing Doom, I was like really impressed with the like when you hit guys, so this is kind of disappointing. Oh no! Also, why is it slowing down so much? There's 4 guys on the screen. Give me a break. Come on. I'm not even getting like one punch in before they knock me down again. These guys are so annoying. Stand still. They keep like running away and like dodging my attacks. Oh god. I mean, I don't know if you're watching this, like getting annoyed, but I am playing this and getting really annoyed. Go down, you jerk. You too, man. Oh, with the stupid take us both out move. Oh, with more guys. Oh, God. I miss Golden Axe. I want to be playing Golden Axe right now. Oh, man. I wonder if it actually slowed down like this in the arcades. Because you gotta figure it did. Otherwise, I don't know why it's going slow right now. But if it did slow down in the arcades, that is embarrassing. Okay, why do you think they kidnapped her? Let's go through theories. One is that she was a bad person because everyone in this town hates her. The other is that we're living in a post-apocalyptic future where these guys are all like clone monsters, so she probably isn't a bad person. Oh, you know what? If we are in a sterile future apocalypse world, then it makes sense that they would kidnap a woman because maybe she's one of the last breeding humans, and people don't want to be clones anymore. I say last breeding females because we have beaten up a few females in this gang or in this city or wherever we are. So clearly there are other females. Holy crap, man. You don't come to a baseball fight with a submachine gun. Jesus. This is gonna get tough, I can tell. Oh. I kind of want that gun. If he dropped that gun, you could use it. This would be an awesome boss fight. Oh, and I suicided. Okay, so maybe she's one of the last breeding humans? What else could it be? Maybe it's just like, they just don't like her. Maybe she's like one of those people who talks during movies. Or maybe like these guys are, and they're sick of her making them feel bad for doing it. I guess, you know what, in the context of this game, you'd have to come up with some kind of like weird reason for why she's kidnapped. Because the reason people are kidnapped in real life is never funny or never fun. It's always like really scary. So, yeah. Let's go with last breeding female, because this guy kind of looks like a Mad Max type. This guy with the gun. He has the unchecked aggression and anger of Mel Gibson, and the build and toughness, the ruggedness of a young Mel Gibson, and the anti-Semitism of a drunk Mel Gibson. So, we're going to say this guy is probably Mel Gibson. The bald guy, who do you think, Matthew McConaughey? Geez, one hit from those bullets and you're dead. This guy stole quarters. That was his role, was to literally steal the quarters of children. I'm not joking, because back in the day, man, every continue costed 25 cents. I wish I had kept track of how many continues I'd use, because I wonder how much it cost to beat this game. And I'm not very good, so it's like, this would be the high end. If you got good at the game, you could probably beat it on like $1.25 or something. But I've probably used... what's a fair guess here? Let's say 6 quarters a level. Because, you know, the first level I probably didn't use too many, but now I'm using a lot. So 6 quarters a level. Oh, I just beat him. Are these guys going to run away? Yeah! That's kind of fun how they run away. Hello. Boy, right again, like, that is a short skirt. First thing we're going to do is get you real dress, my dear. May you live happily forever. That was a mistranslation, I'm guessing, right? Yoshi Kishi was the director and producer. Hiroshi Sato, Tomoyasu Koga. Oh god, Nari. You can tell I'm not a Japanese speaker. I mean, if you can't tell from my accent I don't speak Japanese. I don't know what's wrong with you, but I'm not, and saying these names is very difficult. Mayumi Hira. So yeah, so if I spent 6 quarters a level, and there was, let's say, 5 levels, so 5 times 6 is 30 quarters, divided by 4. 750? To beat Double Dragon. That's actually not bad. We used to pay like, you'd pay like $50 for a game. Although you could play it forever. I paid $7, we think, to beat Double Dragon right here. Oh god. Let's make us watch her getting punched in the gut over and over. I think the underwear thing comes from the fact that this is a Japanese game, and so Japan is just always into sort of melding the sexy with the violence, we shall say. It's interesting, actually, that we look down on, you know, anything that's racy in North America here, but maybe the Japanese have it right, because, I mean, look how violent this game is. Why is it offensive that we see her underwear? I mean, you know, we're watching guys get punched in the boot with steel, or punched in the face with steel-toed boots. So, I mean, is a bit of underwear that racy? I don't think so. Well, I'm impressed. I beat the game. What have we learned here today? I think we've learned that if you and your brother are known as dragons, and your girlfriend / a random girl in front of your garage is stolen, you have the power within you to beat all the clones you're going to encounter. And it's only going to cost you about $7. I think we... Oh, and look at the wanted posters. So those... I guess we are fighting, like, bad guys, a gang. In a way, this really was setting up Final Fight. Very similar kind of story. Less girls getting punched in the gut in Final Fight, though. Unless you count the girls you punch in the gut. Because there are some girls, some bad girls, that you fight in Final Fight. Anyway, I'm kind of getting off topic here. Pros of Double Dragon are... I think, you know, it had a lot of really interesting things, like how you could pick up the weapons of enemies. That's, you know, again, I was talked about Halo during my Doom video. Another really awesome thing about Halo was the fact that you had to pick up weapons from the guys you killed. You know, in Doom, you're walking around just picking up ammo, and there was guns that were special for you. The bad guys and you used different guns. It's kind of more realistic to pick up the weapons of guys that you beat up or shoot. So it's kind of cool that this was one of the first fighting games to introduce that. I'm a fan of that. And I guess this was one of the first co-ops, which was really cool too. And yeah, I would say this is a decent game. I found the fighting a little tedious by the end, but you know, if you think about the fighting games that were out at the time, this is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and say that if you've never played Double Dragon, especially if you haven't played on the NES, you got to go ahead and give that a shot. Because this is a game you must play before you die. Yeah, the only cons are, I guess I already said it, the fighting I found to be a little bit tedious. And there were a few cheap things in this game that kind of sucked away your quarters, like being able to fall off a cliff and die, or the boss hitting you once, but yeah, the NES version wouldn't really suffer from that. Alright guys, if you've enjoyed this video, what I want you to do is move your mouse cursor down and click on the like button, and then I want you to move it over a little further and click on the subscribe button. Those are two favors you can do for me right now that I would highly appreciate. In the meantime, if you have enjoyed this video, after the like, after the subscribe, stay tuned, because in a couple days I will be returning with a new video and a new game. So until then guys, don't punch anyone and don't kidnap anyone. Alright? Alright. Peace.